Hello, welcome to a new speedrun, and this time we're going to try to get from 22 to 2300 in one go. Well, actually I'm starting from 2227, so I have a little head start, but the rules are going to be if I lose a game, I'm sorry but the video ends, and if I get a draw I can keep playing, but I'm trying to get there undefeated, and that's going to be the goal. So, okay, without further ado, let's look for an opponent, and well, we get one pretty quickly. My opponent is rated 2168. Okay, something went wrong with my connection, but I think we're good to go. Okay, so we're just going to play a regular King's Pawn opening and see what we get. Maybe a gambit, like the Scotch gambit. Maybe the Goring. If d4, pawn takes c3, I feel like he's going to play a gambit. Or maybe he's going to play the Italian, the Scotch. I mean, we can get pretty much anything. And he's thinking about it, which I really don't understand. To get the door or something. Okay, he played bishop b5 finally. Well, a Spanish maybe, Ruy Lopez, I mean, a6. Bishop a4, knight f6. Let's play ultra theoretical chess. Yeah, knight f6. Castles, I will play not the open. I don't want to play the open with knight takes e4. I will just play the close Ruy with bishop e7. Like he's taking his sweet time for every single move. Okay, bishop e7. Rook e1. Yeah, he knows his theory. b5. Bishop e3, now we'll castle. Notice how when he played rook e1, only then I play b5, because then he's seriously threatening to take and actually win the pawn. Because after d takes, knight takes e5, I can't get my pawn back on e4. Well, that is interesting. If I take with the pawn, then e5, knight g4, I think. Well, he has h3. Well, I'm a little confused. And this is definitely not my cup of tea. But if I take with the knight, it's just the same. Knight takes, e takes, e5. I guess that's the idea. But there's this trick. E takes d, and if he takes, I take. And if queen takes, then I have c5. And I attack the queen, and I also threaten on the next move to catch the bishop after c4. But if I take right now, the problem is he's playing e5, and I'm forced to go back to e8 or something. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. On knight takes, it's very similar. Knight takes d4, e takes d4. He's not gonna take back with the queen. That's terrible. He would just play e5. So I'll probably just play these seats here. I think I can afford to. If pawn takes, I think I'm alright. After the queen trade, should be more or less fine. So I will hold the fort with these seats, and everything should be alright. So now, well, he's managed to play d4 in one go, but the problem, well, I wouldn't really call it a problem, but I can play bishop g4 right away. I know in the past people didn't like this for white, in the sense that they would delay d4, playing h3 first. But this has been popularized in modern times. I mean, because white can actually play bishop e3, and I can't really take on e4 because of bishop d5. That's a classic fork that provokes me to lose a knight. And the problem is I don't really know how theory goes here, so I will have to improvise. I think it was Mamedliarov who really popularized this line. I could be wrong. But well, let's think out of the top of our heads. My opponent clearly is better prepared than me, so I will have to dig deep and not make a huge mistake or anything. So I'm thinking of maybe queen d7, pawn takes. I always have knight takes. I guess I should be more or less okay. Queen d7, d5 might be a thing, but I think I can attack the bishop. And if bishop c2, then I might break on c6. I want to play queen d7 or queen c8 because if he kicks me out of there, I will play bishop h5. And on g4, I have knight takes g4. A very important move. Knight takes g4, h takes g, queen takes g4 with check, and the knight is left hanging. Now, I'm not really sure if I should go to d7 or c8. That's my real concern here. I will go to d7 just because it looks more natural, but I don't want to fall into trouble because of this. I suspect I won't, but we'll see. I'm not really sure. Knight bd2 is probably his move. And then I'll play, I don't know, rook f8 maybe. I'm really not sure how this goes. Knight bd2. Well, just trying to get ahead of what he's going to do. Knight bd2 is his next move, I'm pretty sure. Then he might be able to push me back like h3 and g4, but I don't think he will go that far. So knight bd2, rook f8. Okay, he just kicked me out of there. I have to go back. No question about that. I don't know if I'm not threatening to take right away because bishop d5, and this time I can go back. Well, of course, he's just playing that, and I don't have that option anymore. So now what? I mean, rook f8 looks decent. It's what I would normally play without knowing anything about this line, honestly. So I will just play rook f8. I don't see myself falling apart either, so I think it's more or less okay. But yeah, I'm a little bit on the dark here, honestly. I think it's reasonably possible to play this without huge preparation, but really depends. I mean, I'm a bit uncoordinated here because I would like to play bishop f8 to start putting pressure on this pawn. At the same time, I don't see myself playing g6, bishop g7, which I would love because I have this annoying bishop that's kind of misplaced. My opponent makes sure that he's going to keep his bishop on this good diagonal. So I'm still playing bishop f8 probably, though bishop g5 is somewhat annoying, I have to admit. But I will play it before I can't. Now this is a move that's a little annoying. He didn't play, okay. I may be able to play d5 and break up that center, maybe. I don't know why he went here, honestly. I don't quite see the point. So d5, e takes d, knight takes d. I'm a little worried about my bishop hanging here, so maybe bishop takes h7, not h8. Bishop takes h7, king takes knight g5 check, and my bishop's hanging. I don't like how that looks, but maybe I can get away with it. Let's see. Let's try once again. d5, e takes d, knight takes d, bishop takes h7, king takes knight g5, king g6 maybe. He has g6, g4, sorry. And I have to give up the bishop, and after h takes I can take on e3 and the knight is hanging. Ew, I don't know if I'll take that knight, but it certainly looks interesting. d5 is a move I really want to play because if it works then I'm freeing myself, which will be great, honestly. Maybe after d5 I have to consider some other stuff, but the very critical line I think is this one where he takes on h7, which I'm not convinced like it works or anything. So maybe I will go for it. There might be other options, but d5, d takes c. That's tough because after knight takes, he might have g4, though I can take on f3 and go back to g6. I guess I'm fine. I will try it, because I don't know if I'm gonna see a better opportunity to break free like this. I'm not certain bishop c2 was his greatest choice at this point. I don't think it was. Bishop b3, I don't know. Bishop b3 was somewhat... bishop c2 was somewhat strange because I had nothing on that bishop. I didn't have knight a5 because he was just playing bishop a2. Okay, he just plays rook c1. Okay, I guess that's mildly encouraging for me. E takes d, and I'm well, he's acquiring a weak pawn. He can't take back with the knight. That seems good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Bishop takes. I get the bishop. Bishop pair. I'm very happy with that. I don't know what he will do. C takes D. It's going to be. Oh no, that loses. D takes E4. D takes E4 is pinned. So he has to play bishop takes, but that's good news already. C takes D, and after the trade of these two other pawns, he will get an isolated pawn. I don't know if it's the end of the world, but I'm taking my chances here. Knight takes E4, knight takes, bishop takes, rook a d8. He seems to have some problems with the IQ. Ooh, no, he doesn't. Well, I'm extremely lucky. That move was... It could have been terrible. Only now I'm seeing rook a8, bishop c6. I have this way to bail out, but that's just luck. I mean, I lowered my guard there. I was too happy about this, and I was definitely gonna make a big mistake. Thankfully, I have rook takes e1 as an intermediate move, so bishop c6 is not a skewer to worry that much about. Okay, rook e3. That's so. I mean, I don't know. Now he is threatening. It's clearly to threaten this, but now I saw it. So I guess it's too late. Well, can't I just win a pawn? No, bishop takes f3, bishop takes. I can't even take here because I have this hanging. But is it necessary though? I can play c5. I know I don't want to get rid of the IQP, but at the same time, I like my pair of bishops. So I will launch c5 before I lose some time. Okay. Oh, it's gonna get so sharp. I mean, pawn takes. He may have bishop c6 even. I didn't see that one. That's a very good move. C takes D, bishop c6. Can I just move out of the way? I don't think so. I'm dropping this. Ooh, this is tough. This is gonna be tough. Bishop takes f3 maybe. Can I bail out with a move like that? I don't think so. Bishop takes h7, king h8, king h8. Rook takes f3. Well, I might take on d4 and survive and everything. Who knows? I'm leaning myself towards bishop takes f3, which is kind of sad, but it feels like a way out, because if I just play bishop g6, he trades and takes my pawn on c5. I don't like that. I will take. Okay, so I have less than 2 minutes to try to make it here. I'm not especially happy about my situation. He plays well. He's playing really, really well. Because now if I take, I'm dropping these two. Oh, that's nasty. What if queen takes, bishop takes, king h7, rook takes d7? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm dropping a pawn for seemingly nothing. G6, d takes e5. Again, not super happy about that, but I will have to play it and try to complicate things, I guess. E takes d. D takes c5. That pawn is going places. Queen d4. Okay, I'll play queen d4 because I have absolutely no time. But this pawn looks to be a really strong. Bishop b7. That's an excellent move. He's playing very well. Bishop takes c5. Queen takes c5. Rook e1. That's interesting, but he has king to h2. I'm stuck here. I'm in real difficulty, so looks like I'm not gonna make it. Oh, on the first game, that's not how I thought this would go. Okay, let's see if I'm not trapping that bishop. I'm not trapping that bishop. He plays that. My rook's hanging. I'm in all sort of trouble now. Bishop d6, c7. If I take, he takes with the queen, and I'm dead. Oh my god, that pawn is really something. Okay, rook b6, c7, rook c6, queen takes, queen takes, queen... No, I'm losing there. I'm most definitely losing this. What else? I don't see anything. Rook c6, queen takes, rook takes, rook takes. Check, maybe. I don't know. No, I'm just dropping a rook. No, c8. Okay. Rook takes, queen d1. And I'm absolutely dead. I mean, even if I'm getting some counterplay after king h2, bishop d6 check, g3, bishop takes c7. Well, maybe he's letting me hang in there a little bit more than he should, but still I'm dead. I think I won't have enough counterplay here because his rooks are extremely solid. And unfortunately, after g3, I have to take on c7 because he's just threatening this. Okay, that's good. Oh, he plays the absolutely best move again. I didn't see that. Bishop takes. Okay. Yeah, I'm most certainly losing this. I can take on f2. But he will attack this pawn, and I have absolutely zero chance. Bishop takes f7, king f8. Just moves the rook somewhere, and I'm done. Rook c4 looks very strong. He didn't play it, but well, let's see if I can trick him somehow. I highly doubt it. Yeah, rook f7. Well played. Well, he absolutely destroyed me, I have to say. And well, I will have to break my own rule. I mean, I won't try to make it to 2300 anymore, but I will definitely play a few more games. I will play a few more games. Well, that's where the streak ends, unfortunately. Game 1. Well, let's try e5 again. Okay, I get the king's gambit. I will take... I think the gambits have to be accepted. Bishop c4. Okay, that gives me a chance to play this check. And, well, my opponent is going for this. How do you play this? Knight f3. I mean, he's trying to develop quickly, hitting my queen in the process, making me move several times, but of course he's inflicting some damage to the position of his own king. So I'll just play normal moves, knight to c6, d4. Okay, that makes sense. And I will try to keep the pawn. I'm being greedy, but it's when you play g5 in the king's gambit and try to hold on to the pawn f4. It's more about keeping this bishop restricted and white's pieces restricted in general than actually hanging on to the pawn. The idea is to restrict the opponent's pieces more than anything. So queen h5. I'm only scared, yeah, about that. I mean, I'm a little bit scared because it feels like I have to play king d8 myself, which I'm not a fan of doing. Except there's some weird sacrifice with... No, I won't do it. If I'm not entirely sure, I won't do it. I will just play king d8, which looks weird, but hey, come on. I can say the same about him. So, well, I think I'm sort of threatening knight takes d4, maybe. h4 is optically annoying, but at the same time, he really can't take this way or this way. None of the two moves are allowed. H takes g drops the rook, knight takes g drops the queen. G4 is interesting, but he jumps into g5. I will take on d4 because the queen is hanging, and if I can get rid of this knight, I feel a little safer. c3, okay, he kicks me out of there. I will take. G takes. Still can't take. Okay, whoa, I didn't expect that. He's trying to exchange queens. I'm a bit surprised about that. I'm a bit surprised because I may just keep my extra pawn, and his pieces are really all over the place. If I play c6, he has to go back to b4, which is a weird place to stay for the knight. though. It's true that he's attacking the pawn. What do I play? H6 or F6? And one of the two. I'll play F6. Even though it kind of looks like it hurts my bishop. It wasn't doing much anyway. Okay, H6 maybe. Pawn take, yeah, because this is always defended. So even if H takes, knight takes F6, he takes, I take back, and this is defended, so no problem. Bishop D2. C6, knight B4. Can I just take? I mean, is that a free pawn, or am I getting too excited? I will take it. Let him prove he has something there. Yeah, he will take and move the king. And then he will try to play rook G1 and invade. Yes. Maybe I was a bit careless when I did that. I don't know. But I can... no, rook H1 is really annoying. Okay, I'm facing a lot of problems today, definitely. But I think I have a lot of pawns. Yeah, I should be able to do something with this. Let's say C6, rook H1, C takes D, rook H8, and I take back here. C6, rook H1, C takes D, bishop takes, attacking both pieces, knight F6, rook takes H8, and I go king C7. I'm attacking his bishop. I think I can unravel this. Yeah, I will go C6 before it gets even tougher. Wow, okay, good. Okay, that's fine. Not too worried though. Pawn takes, I can hold on to this and hopefully bring my bishop out. The other bishop goes to D6, to F6, and I should be alright here, I guess. Bishop D7. I have 2 extra pawns. Well, yeah, it's a healthy material advantage. Now, this is a tough decision. King E7 gives a check on H7. I can go to D6. So he can pin me yet again with rook H6. And I don't like that. Wait a second. This is maybe a rather critical moment. So I have to think a little bit. Bishop E7, rook H8. That's what I'm not so happy with. And then what? King D7. Ew, I don't like that. I was thinking B6 also, but bishop takes D5 check. King C7. I'm threatening all kinds of stuff there, but this is tough. King E7 is the natural move. Now rook H7 check. Where do I go? Because King F8, he has this check, and well, it's an exchange. I have two extra pawns, even if there are opposite color bishops. I can I still have good winning chances, like King G7, rook D6, bishop F5. I should be I don't know if entirely winning, but it looks like it should be good for me. So and it looks pretty forcing. That's what I like. It looks like a forcing way to unravel, because if I play King E7 and my opponent does nothing on next move, I'm playing bishop F5 and getting the bishops out, restricting his rook. And if he plays the check, I go to F8. I'm attacking his bishop, so I guess he has to do something about that. And if rook F7, king takes, rook takes, king G7, everything looks completely forcing. So I'll go down that road and see what happens. Yeah, rook F7 takes, and I play king G7. And I feel good about this. I mean, the rook is going to come to D6. There's no other square, and I play bishop F5. The rook is kind of dominated here. I'm not claiming that I'm winning it or anything, but I think I have a big advantage here. Now bishop C3 is coming. Is that something to worry about? A little bit, because bishop C3, king F7, rook F6, for example, drops the bishop. So I have a problem to solve there. If pawn takes bishop C3, I'll have to go to G8 maybe, and I think I'm all right. probably. Rook f6, bishop d3, and I'm also threatening to get in there. I will play it. After all, I get another pawn. All I have to avoid is the tricks that just end up losing the f5 bishop. Rook d4. Okay, now I will defend. Should I though? Rook d7 is coming. Maybe b5 is more accurate, so I don't allow this. Well, but I'm allowing him to start hitting my pawns with rook d6. Maybe better than allowing rook d7, but I'm not sure. So what now? c5 and b4. c5, there's rook d5 though. Bishop d3, rook takes c5, rook e2 check, king g1. Yeah, not sure. Not sure, and I don't know if I can defend this effectively. Maybe I can play rook e6. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm winning if it comes to an exchange of rooks here, because I have too many pawns. Right? It should be winning. If I don't win this, and that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, I will force the endgame. Okay, wait a second. Maybe I'm making a mistake because rook e2, king takes bishop, takes e7, bishop f6. That I hadn't noticed. And then I will have 4 against 2, but with a couple of double pawns. I don't know if I'm winning that. Maybe. But I might be making a big mistake. Big mistake. Which is already done, if that is the case, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm really winning in that case. Oh, that was very bad. It's definitely not one of my best days. So I will just go bishop d3 and try to, well, keep pieces. Unfortunately, I'm dropping a pawn here or here. He can even choose. I'll probably choose the a7 pawn because, yeah, that one was more accessible, I think. But still, still looks reasonably good for him. Well, he doesn't have, for the time being, he doesn't have rook f5 check, capturing my pawn, so I'm going after his, see what happens. Fortunately, he can play this, and if I play bishop e2, then he gives the check. Yeah, it's so annoying. King f7 drops the pawn after this. Oh, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Again, I'm having a lot of problems in this game. What do I do now? I'm gonna try to push the... Oh, this virtually forces a draw. Well, he didn't see it, that's good. I don't know if he needs to see it though. Rook e5, we exchange everything, and there's no way I'm winning that. Unless I get some tactical trick in and... Well, maybe rook d6, king d6, rook e5, king d6. Maybe I have chances there, I don't know. Okay, rook e6, check, king d5. That seems more or less fine. He can't give a check, really. Everything is protected. So, well, trying to make progress little by little. Now my king is centralized, his king is cut off. Now, how to make progress? That's a different matter. It's not going to be particularly easy. Maybe at some point I will get some exchange sacrifice as a possibility to then push my pawns forwards, because this bishop is really keeping white's position together. Maybe if I manage to find an effective exchange sacrifice, then I can think of... yeah, that's good. He's trying to fit some more pawns on light squares, but well, I'm actually getting his b2 pawn. I don't know if that was his best idea, because now this pawn looks like it's gonna be really strong. c5 and b4 and start pushing, I guess. Yeah, I gotta pass pawn. I'm still having trouble making use of it. But well, I'm losing that pawn on f4. I don't know if it matters too much, because my only goal is to really to push the c pawn to promotion, and that will probably cost his bishop. He will have to arrange this, yeah, something like that. c2, bishop f4, but I'm playing rook b1 and I'm getting the bishop. Yeah, he will have to take. I take back, and well, I'm definitely winning this, even though I'm playing a little bit too slow. I think I got it. Okay, rook c3, and one of the pawns is dropping. Yeah, this endgame I will win, even if it's even if I'm pretty short on time. Or just push, help the pawns with king, push his king back, promote, and that should be it. Check, b3. Well, the challenge has failed, so I'll keep playing a couple of games more at least to, well, not abandon the video so quickly. That's a weird checkmate. The challenge has failed, so let's keep playing a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to try to get to 2300 today, but let's try to make it at least a little bit past the rating at which we left last time. My opponent played a really good game. I didn't feel like I had much of a chance. I mean, out of the opening, I was already kind of lost on what to do. Then I thought I kind of managed to free myself, but oh well, no, he really punished me. I mean, the tactics were off for me. He clearly outplayed me there. Okay, we're facing a Scandinavian. It's one of those openings that you know it's not entirely sound. It's playable, but not maybe the soundest choice. But still hard to refute if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, I can't claim there's a refutation to this, of course, but it certainly feels like the Scandi is always a bit off. Now, bishop d6. Okay, that's reasonable. He's gonna play knight bd7 with a ton of pressure on e5, but I can still manage with queen e2, I guess. Okay, he's playing quickly and confidently. I don't like that. Maybe g4 is playable. I don't know. Bishop takes e5, and my pawn is left hanging on g4, which I don't know if it's possible. There are always tricks on f7 and stuff like that, but honestly, I don't see it here. I'm tempted to play bishop g3, though. It's kind of a lazy move. I'll prefer to play something else, honestly. I don't know if I can castle queenside, but it looks way too much. So I will just castle kingside. For the time being, this is protected enough, I guess. Though he has knight d5 here, I will play bishop g3. And he can double my pawns, but I don't know if that's... Well, no, wait a second. Knight d5, I don't think he can play it yet. Knight takes, and if he takes with the c pawn, I have bishop e5. He has to be careful still. h6. That looks strange. I don't know if it was necessary at all. g4. I'm really tempted to find something with taking on f7. So I will just play rook fe1. Now I don't know if it's actually threat. The knight takes f7, king takes, bishop takes e6. Looks much more compelling now. Although I have to say that he just castles here, and that idea is gone. Basically, I think he should just castle, and most likely he's all right. Now my problem is if I play bishop g3, I don't have g4 ideas anymore. But if I play g4, he might have bishop takes, knight takes, and I'm just dropping the bishop on f4. So after he castles, I'm not really entirely sure about what I'm gonna do. Maybe just queen f3, though it drops the pawn on c2. I don't know if he's really that happy about taking that pawn. See, that's the problem. You get a slight space advantage with white. That's not so easy to manage. Well, that's also reasonable. I mean, if I take with the pawn, I have to take with the pawn, I guess. Where is that knight going, though? Knight d5 is definitely the idea. But then there are some things to worry about with this. So for example, e takes d, knight e5, bishop takes, pawn takes. I wonder if I have knight takes, it takes e6 with a discard attack on the queen and an attack on this knight. I mean, at the very least, I will take and see what happens, because I prefer to keep my dark square bishop. But maybe, just maybe, my opponent is allowing some tactics here. I'm not entirely sure, but let's check. Bishop takes, c takes. That's most logical, but wait a second, because I have knight b5 and I'm getting the knight into the seats, which could be tragic. But if that's the case, bishop takes d5, e takes d5, e6 is much stronger because I don't have to sacrifice a piece. Actually, I'm just offering my bishop, but I'm taking his knight, and the king is out there in the center. I'm definitely going for that. I'm going to lose a pawn at most if he plays e takes d. Yeah, good. I will play e6. I'm losing a pawn because, yeah, that pawn is gone after e takes, king takes. But look at that king. I wouldn't be too happy if I were him about that king. So well, he's just confidently going into this. And it's not like he had a choice, but yeah, this looks sketchy. We should have a win here, I'm pretty sure. Let's try knight takes d5. I know queen e7 may be the first move to look at, but I was kind of attracted towards this idea. C takes and queen b5, which looks very strong. What does he do there? I mean, his king is way too open to survive that. Check. King c8, rook e8, and I'm capturing that rook on a8. So king d8, queen takes b7, maybe attacking the rook. I don't know, looks promising. I don't know if I'm getting enough there, but it really looks like it's a way to rip open the position before he can do anything. I do have the check, king c8, and then what? That's my question. I can take on f7, maybe, and his king is really stuck there on c8. The rooks are uncommunicated, and I'm threatening rook e8. So that's the professional variation, I would say, where you're not risking that much and it looks pretty clear. I also have a pin on this bishop after queen takes f7. I'm threatening to double up on the 7th rank, so yeah, no need to sacrifice heavily with knight takes d5. Just let's go for the easiest variation at hand, and it looks like it's enough. g5, okay, that doesn't do anything against rook e8. And I think I'm just capturing that rook on a8 after the skewer. And he has no attack. My rook's coming. Yeah, there it is. Whoa, okay, we're recovering. Slowly we are recovering. So let's play one more at least. Okay, white pieces again. Let's try another thing. d4, d5, London. Don't hate me, please. I bet there are some London fans out there. There has to be. So c6. Okay. Knight f3, queen b6. Is this the idea? I'm not sure. Knight c3. Do I turn this into a Jobava? Maybe. Maybe I will. I will turn this into a Jobava London, where black hasn't played c5, though I'm not sure how it goes. It does seem reasonable. Now, about the piece arrangement, do I want to play this weird stuff with f3 and g4? Maybe I do, though after f3 I might encounter h5, then I will play bishop d3. f3 is a move I will make anyway, because probably e4 is going to be an idea. So, okay, maybe g3 and bishop d3, g4 and bishop d3, I will try that. I would try this. h4 maybe? h5, g5, the knight. I like this maneuver. h4, h5, g5, the knight goes back to g8 and he tries to get the f5 square. Sometimes that happens. Okay, let's hold the bishop with knight g2. And, well, I guess my idea is going to be to castle queens. I mean, queen d2, castle queens, and see what happens. Maybe he's trying to go for this pawn break. That would make a lot of sense, and I'm not entirely happy with it because he's it looks really good for him. But I will play queen d2 nonetheless. If he goes e5, just take, and queenside castle, and that's probably a very sharp position to play anyway. Okay, so bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, g5, knight h5, and e4. Maybe I have to do something like this, even though it feels like my pawns are falling apart. I have to do this before he just hits the center with e5 himself. The other option to stop black from playing a quick e5, because now I'm worried about this, because d takes, knight takes. He's trying to get the bishop pair. The knight is really good on e5. My other option is g5, knight h5, takes, and just close everything with f4. That knight might be a bit off there, but I think he can eventually play g6 and go back. I don't know. I'm not really that sure. g5, knight h5, bishop takes, queen takes, f4. Hits changes on d3, plays g6, and he's ready to just jump back into f5. I'm gonna go with the riskier version. I mean, I'm playing g5 regardless. I'm sure he's gonna go here. Knight g8 is always an option, because he's trying to go back to e7, and the position is more or less closed, so I guess he has time to do any of this. So okay, now I'll go e4. d4 is sufficiently protected, so I guess I'm more or less fine. So I might be at a disadvantage if he takes and I take back with the pawn because of e5, and he's really having great control of the dark squares after e5. It's a good pawn break. I get a terrible bishop on d3. I'm probably not happy about this, though. Could argue that this knight is not amazing. I'm honestly thinking about just taking with the knight, because the knight on e4 looks really good. And yeah, I still, in this case, I keep a space advantage. e5 isn't coming right away. He has to do something with that queen. But I don't like my pawn structure particularly. My pawns feel like they're just all over the place, and I can't fix it so easily either. If this pawn was back to g2, I'll be much happier, but alas, it's on g5, where it's not even attacking anything. Okay, queen c7, that's rather solid. I don't want to play f4 really, but I will castle. Should I though? What about queen b4? Let's put some difficulties with knight d6 or something. If he castles queens and knight d6, king b8, and bishop takes g6, he will have to take with the f pawn. Yeah, because else he just loses the f pawn, I think. Oh, but still I have knight f7 with a fork against those two pieces. That's messy. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it looks interesting. Queen b4. Preventing kingside castle, and if queenside castle, I have knight d6, takes, and then I have fork against those two rooks. Could work. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but knight d6 is quite a potent threat, so he might want to take and then play c5 after that. But I feel like it's an improvement. After takes, I can take with the bishop and maybe not allow c5 any longer. Yeah, I will play it. I will play it because I need some complications. So queen b4, queen b4, cutting off the king. If he castles on the queen side, I have knight d6. That's the idea. Okay, yeah, he plays it instantly. That's good. Okay, I would like to take back with the pawn and have the 2 pawns in the center together, but the problem is that he gets c5 in, I think, and my center is tumbling really, or e5, and he fixes my pawns on light squares. This bishop suffers. I'm not particularly fond of taking with the bishop, but as things stand now, I think it's a better choice. Now he will definitely castle queenside because I don't think he has a better option than that, honestly. And then I will castle on the same side, probably. Okay, knight b6. That makes sense too. He's It's not decided yet. But I think I'm pretty sure I'm castling on the queen side. I can't go the other way with that pawn on g5. So I would just castle queen side. Queen e7, maybe what he's thinking about. Okay, no. Okay, he's trying to push me away, so I allow him to castle. Honestly, after queen a3, queen e7 looks very good because he's attacking that pawn on g5. That's good. That's good, and I have to exchange, and I'm not a fan of this endgame, honestly. Even though it might not be terrible, I might have to agree to playing something like that, unfortunately. He will have a great knight on f4 at the end of the day. So where do I go? Queen d2? He's installing a knight there anyway. I'm inclined to take, but that's really awful. I mean, after c takes, then what? Knight c3 just gets the knight in front of the pawn. I mean, my pawn structure is looking worse and worse with each move. You might say, well, he can't castle, but he can castle queenside pretty safely. I might just play queen b3 and allow the kingside castle. He's gonna get a knight on f5. I mean, he has great pieces, but still it's a fight. Let's say he castles. I will have to play king b1 because the problems on the c1 h6 diagonal are going to just increase probably. The second you get some time to play a non-critical move, you tend to want to play king b1 when you castle queens. Well, he did the same in the end. I will just play it anyway. He's played really fast and he's got a good position. I mean, that's kind of frustrating. But I guess we're still fine. I mean, nothing terrible has happened, not compared to the game. I lost where I was in trouble down on the clock and everything was going wrong. This is more or less playable, even though my pawns are broken and I do prefer black. I have to state confidently that I prefer black's chances here, but nonetheless it's rather playable. Okay, that's dangerous because I was gonna go knight g3, knight takes, pawn takes, and I was not seeing knight e2, which attacks g3 and d4. So I have to be more careful than that. Maybe I will leave this knight in the middle of nowhere and I will just play knight c3. This is a knight that's now... you have two knights competing for the same square, and the knight on h5 doesn't look like it's particularly good piece. The only annoying thing I'm seeing now is that queen b6 is almost forcing me to exchange the queens, which I'm not particularly happy with. It's not the end of the world though. Well, I'm getting rid of a weakness. He gets the knight back into the action, but I'm certainly happy to part with the g pawn, even though these two are not awesome or anything. Well, he's gonna go f5 and kick me back. I have c2, so it's maybe not such a big deal. Okay, maneuver somewhere. Let's say knight a4, knight e2, queen e3. I guess I can do that. If f5, I always have bishop c2. Yeah, he would try to get this knight back to life, I guess. For time being, I'm just threatening knight c5. Well, that's cute. I can play knight c5 because I'm threatening knight a6 with a fork. But knight c5, he also has queen b6, and that basically forces the trade. So I don't want to. I don't want to allow that. I will play bishop c2, and then I'll see if I play that. Knight to c5. Then I also have this to build up the pressure first on the e6 pawn, and then maybe go knight c5. We'll see, but I like my prospects. At least some of his pieces feel like they're completely offside. That knight on h5 is not doing much, and black should try to rescue it. Well, he played king a8. I'll just play normal moves at this rate. Because if he moves the knight now, he loses the pawn, but at the same time, if he doesn't move the knight, what does he do with the other knight? And if knight f6, I can play knight c5, attack this pawn, I have an eye on this one. At least I can claim I have activity. And it's much better than what it looked like a few moves ago. Okay, knight c5. Now it feels somewhat promising, even though I'm down on the clock again. Now what? Centralize the pieces. I mean, especially if you're down on the clock, just try to play center moves. Don't do anything crazy. Maybe I give myself some breathing room. That, or I'm really tempted to go all out for an attack. Well, that is a little bit suspicious. I mean, I know I don't have any particularly beautiful squares for the knight, but at the same time, it looks like he's opening up a lot for absolutely no reason. I mean, I can play queen a4 here or queen a3. Queen a4, queen a3, I don't know which one. Queen a3 maybe. Queen a3. It feels like it doesn't get hit with any b5s, even though b5 will be really weakening. But at the same time, I might get bishop a4 in at some point. It's really hard to tell which one's best with a few minutes on the clock, but at least I feel like I'm getting some play here. Rook e3, rook b3 being an idea. Bishop a4 is even a thing, because if queen takes, I have bishop takes e6 check with a discord attack on the queen. What else? Well, rook d7, I feel inclined to playing bishop a4. It's a pretty idea. Probably doesn't work. I mean, he won't take most definitely, but I'm threatening sort of knight b4. d5 is an idea with this skewer being a thing. It feels like some of his pieces are missing. I mean, that knight is not helping black's cause now. Yeah, well, at least he's facing some trouble at this point. Rook, okay, that makes sense. d5, it takes, knight takes. Knight takes d5, knight takes d5, and I don't have any tactics. That's super annoying, but maybe rook e6, attacking this pawn. I don't have anything concrete, at least I think, but should I do it then? I don't see a reason, because I can still improve with by bringing more pieces to the attack. As well, that's the only way to make the attack work here. I don't have any more pieces around the king. This is still not possible because of bishop takes e6, and the queen is still hanging even if he gets a couple of pieces for it. And rook e3 really threatens this. Now b5 I always have this intermediate move, which just a killer move. Well, let's see. It's spending some time. Rook g7. But I'm lower on time than he is, so I'm not one to pick rook b1. If he takes, I always have this. And now, what does my move threaten anyway? That's the only pro. Okay, I'm confused. What is that doing for black? If I just take on c5, I don't see it because he doesn't even have a check. I mean, if he takes, I still have bishop c6 and nothing has changed. That was a little reckless, I think, and kind of unnecessary because I'm not even sure what I was threatening. Yeah, having the rook on b3 might give me some tactical ideas, but now what? I mean, this is just helping me, I guess, because I have more open files. This is coming most likely. I still have to work to win from here. I have to admit, of course, but it's looking really good. I mean, c takes b is an idea. Not c6. I have to be aware of that because there's queen takes a6 and I don't have bishop c6 any longer. Okay, that might even allow me to go rook this. I have to be careful about this stuff though. My first rank is not particularly strong. So if I take queen takes a3, I don't have b7 because that annoying rook is there. It's still there. Come on, this has to be good for me. There must be something. Rook takes b6, a takes b6, some discovered check. I don't know, bishop c6, rook takes. Don't I have a discovered check with the knight, king b7, queen a8, king takes? So close. I would just play queen b4, which is kind of sad. But I will do it because I have no time. It's a long maneuver, but I'm thinking of something like this. And see if I can get him into a checkmate net. Kind of unlikely. Very, very unlikely. But still, what is he gonna do? I mean, is he taking here? I don't think so. Queen b5 should be completely winning. Or even better, b takes c, bishop c6, deflecting. No, not even necessary. I can play rook b8, queen b8, rook takes b8, checkmate. The knight is defending. So that pawn is not up for grabs. Then what is black's idea? Knight e2, okay. Bringing the knight into the equation could be annoying. Queen b5, c takes b. What's best? I'm guessing this. And then rook d. I could play rook d7 maybe. I'm not sure. I don't have time to calculate. I would just play whatever feels normal. Queen c6 is the idea now. At least it's one idea. Still has queen b7, though I'm not so sure how that works. C takes b is also a huge threat. My idea was queen c6, rook takes, bishop takes, queen b7, only move, and then rook d8 will be checkmate. Okay, that's reasonable. c6 looks pretty strong. I have the other one coming, so it's not like he's closing anything. So c5, queen e7, come on, queen e7, c5. Have to be breaking through. I can also play queen e7, rook d7, check here, but that's kind of unnecessary. There might be stuff connected to knight d4. I don't want to do anything with that. And this is also a thing now which could make things easier. I think I finally breaking through. I only have 36 seconds, which it's hopefully gonna be enough because the position is really overwhelming. But we'll see. Takes, queen a7. I just spot a checkmate though. Queen a7. I don't have queen b7. The rook is always involved. That rook is my problem now. I guess queen a7 is coming. It's the only hope. Yep. And do I checkmate here? c7. Yeah, c7. Queen takes. Rook takes. I'm trying to impose this rook b8. Unfortunately, it's not checkmate. So king here, okay. So bishop c6 is not checkmate. Really, it's really not checkmate. Okay, I have 15 seconds. This is not going well. Bishop b3. What was that? I'm really okay. Now it's just like a bullet game finish. Not really pretty. I think he's even lower in time than I am. I end up winning. Whoa, that was a bad finish, but well, I guess it was all about the clock at that point. Okay, one more, so we advance a little bit more, hopefully, if we win this game, and we'll take it from there to try to get to 2300. Last game of the session. What do we play this time? Okay, I will go back to my Sicilian. Okay, this is going to be a King's Indian attack. Yeah, my opponent is going to play that setup. I will play what I suggested in a video. Let's oh well, until you get some move like this and your prep goes out the window. What is that? I'm confused. He may want to play f4 and just throw everything at me. Most likely. I will just play normal chess. I don't think it should be too worrying. F4 is certainly coming. What do I play now? B6 or B5? B5 probably. I will start playing on the queen side, which is what I'm supposed to do. I mean, this looks aggressive and all, but I don't think it's so easy for white to make progress because every time he wants to play F5, E5 falls apart. So even though it looks aggressive, it may not be the easiest to push forwards after this. So I'll take and play knight b6. That should be reasonable. The only thing well, yeah, no, it's fine. Knight b6, pawn takes. I will take with the pawn, so I keep these two under control, and I don't get his knight going to the center squares. If he takes, pawn takes, notice e5 is still somewhat hanging, and if he doesn't get to play f5 immediately, I might get the light squares for myself. Okay, b3, bishop b7 or bishop a6. If I play bishop a6, this won't be a thing for some time anyway, so I'm not so sure. a5 with the idea of a4 is definitely a thing. I don't know if I'm going too far with it. Okay, he played b3, so I guess I can do this. Bishop b2, a5. If the idea is to take and play f5, which might be, and I definitely need an answer against that. Bishop b2. What if I play? Well, what if I prepare myself to take with the knight? That could potentially be an answer. I'll be threatening knight e3. If I play, for example, bishop b2, a4, pawn takes, knight takes. I'm growing fond of knight takes d5, honestly. Knight takes d5 because some squares look a little bit weak. But I'm also almost asking his knight to go to better squares. So I guess I'm just gonna go with pawn takes and keep the knight at bay. He's now also the need to pay attention to this all the time. Bishop b2 will be played, I guess. And then he's definitely trying to play f5. So I have to set up a blockade against that. Bishop b2. A blockade could involve playing bishop f5, though I have to account for f4, g4. Then I'll go to d3. That was interesting. Knight f2. Okay, at least it kind of feels low. And I might go bishop a6, rook e1, rook c8 to defend this knight. My only problem is that, yeah, then f5 is a thing. So why not just play queen c7, get the queen out of the way, attacking e5, so it's harder to play f5 in the future. And now I can make a pawn break happen. Okay, knight f3. Trying to redeploy his pieces somewhat, but I have to keep playing on the queen side. It's where all my play is. This is taking an awful lot of time, though. If he gets away with it, it can be pretty strong. But I think I'm hitting first on the queen side. Okay, I guess I will take a3 is tempting, even though if he goes back, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe knight b4. Maybe bishop a6, maybe c4. I don't know. There's a lot of options. A takes b though feels like I'm making him worry about the queen side a little bit, which is my goal at this point. Queen takes. Maybe I'll play d4 to cut the bishop off, and he doesn't. Well, he doesn't get to play f5 anyway, so I don't know if I'm so much in a hurry to play something like that. What to make progress here though? Bishop e6. g4. g4 is annoying. I have d4 though. I'll play d4. My only concern is that I'm giving him this square and I'm not a fan. So I also get e3 for my knight, so I'm going for it. Knight d5, knight e3. And knight e3 is a big threat. And as far as I see, it's not so easy to stop. Well, he played this, attacking my pawn on c5. 93 anyway, or am I going too far? At the very least it feels unnecessary. I have to say I could play queen b6, attack b3, and I still keep this option open. So yeah, why not? why give away the pawn on c5, which would make this one on d4 crumble apart? when I can keep everything together and still threaten to play knight e3. Okay, queen a4, is that a threat actually, or is it just pseudo activity? Oh, not one, not the other. It's a regular move, but I can play knight e3, I guess. And if the bishop moves, it's very tempting to play bishop b7 because I'm threatening to trap the queen with rook a8 because he doesn't have queen c4 because of my knight on e3. So if bishop h1, bishop b7, threatening rook a8. Now my concern is bishop a3, but no, he's not fast enough. I have rook a8. It's a nice idea. Let's see what he plays. Well, he didn't want to risk getting the queen trapped. It makes sense though. Now getting this light square bishop is like a dream to me. That king is gonna be much more vulnerable after this. Though I have to say that he's doing a good job of keeping me off some critical squares on the queen side. And knight c4 is a very lovely square for the knight. Not that it will matter. I mean, his light squares are going to be extremely weak, and I do possess the light square bishop, so I guess that's more important than him having these active knights. I mean, he has them for now, and it's great and everything, but there's no contest on the light squares. I think that's going to be decisive in the end. Knight d6, I take, he takes. Yeah, he attacks the queen, but I can go back probably to b6, and yeah, this bishop is going to d5. That bishop is... there's a big difference between these two. I mean, mine is going to be an extremely strong piece in many scenarios. And this one, well, it's looking for activity. Even if I lost this pawn, I think he's in grave danger. I should play this right away, yeah. But still, the threat is so strong that he can't really ignore it. Rook a8 was stronger, probably. Well, I don't know, because there were some knight d6. This time there's none. I mean, I can play rook a8. Where does the queen go? If he takes on c5, knight takes c5, I take on c5, and he still has... Well, he can't take knight takes c5. It's pinned. What am I saying? Rook a8. Rook a8. I'm getting that queen. Okay, at least we recovered from from the loss. I was kind of anticlimactic. I mean, I was thinking of trying to get to 2300 undefeated on the first game. It was just the end of it. So challenge off, but well, still here trying to win some games and get back into shape. So rook a8. Well, it's almost resignable now, I think. He just loses the queen for nothing. Well, that's gonna give us 8 points. So, well, it's a good place to get to. At least 2250. That's a good starting point for the next video on the speedrun. And the speed has been reduced dramatically today, but well, at least we're still making progress. I mean, we started at 2227 today, and hopefully, if I don't do anything crazy here, we're gonna get to 2250. Not a great leap, but it's not bad either. Okay, our opponent just disconnected. Let's see if the auto resign will end this game, or if he returns in time. Doesn't look like he will. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, he's off. Yeah, okay. Was winning anyway in this game, I think. Everything's alright. Well, thanks a lot. It was very anticlimactic, but we still got some games in. I mean, the challenge ended abruptly on game 1, but that's sometimes how it goes. Unfortunately, there was no undefeated run. So, okay, well, I'll see you next in our next video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe and leave a like. And till next time, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.